And so it's all integrated. So the law firm has this really big benefit, or the service business has this benefit. They're using their software every day. All we do is integrate. And when they change the phase in their software, then it just pushes to milestones. And milestones will tell the clients like, hey, you're in this phase now. And that attorney, the law firm, doesn't have to do anything different outside their normal job. Now you're updated, their CRM is updated. There's no extra work needing to happen.
All right, this is another episode of the Founders Pack podcast. My guest today is Josh Christensen from Milestones, not the restaurant, but the startup.
That's
Josh,
right.
how are you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Michael.
No problem. I'm glad we connected. So for people that don't know, who is Josh and what is Milestones?
I am the technical founder of Milestones, co-founder and CTO. And Milestones is basically we pitched it as a Domino's pizza tracker for your services business, or Domino's pizza tracker-esque like type interface for a services business. Yeah.
Okay, so what was I guess first of all, when you say Domino's, it's Domino's tracker, maybe kind of go into that a little bit more. Who would be the customer for that, and what's the problem you guys are solving?
Yeah, sure. So if you ever place an order for a pizza at Domino's, like through their app, they give you this tracker that says like, hey, your pizza's in the oven, or like Mike started prepping your pizza. It's somebody started doing something, your pizza's in the oven, and it says like, hey, it'll be done in like 20 minutes or something. And then your pizza's out, your pizza's ready, come pick it up. So there's like these steps that we saw it with Domino's, we're seeing it with like Amazon packages, and you can see kind of track your package there. And DoorDash, Uber, they all have like these kind of interfaces. And
Really?
so that's kind of the idea. It was like, hey, this is becoming more of like a behavioral trend. Like people are used to this, they love it. It's like it gives them a little bit of a sense of control. And so for services businesses, we just thought, hey, why don't we do this for services businesses also, like give them some interface. There's a lot of SMBs that just don't have the money to, or they're not even in software. And so it's kind of weird. Like it's kind of weird that Domino's is building a software product, and maybe it's a little clunky. And so why don't we actually have a software team build it? And so we are providing it to services businesses. Basically, you have a start and an end and some steps in between. And you have like a CRM. That's the idea. That's our ideal client is they have a cloud-based CRM system where they have phases that they track internally. We just allow those internal phases to be exposed to their clients externally. So actually, most of our clients are law firms right now, and that's our focus is in the legal industry.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So if I paint a little bit more of a picture, pretend hopefully this doesn't happen to anyone, but you're driving down the road and a truck comes and just smashes into you. Maybe it's the Home Depot truck.
Knocking on wood that does not happen.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't happen to anyone here. But this is like kind of the idea is the Home Depot truck hit you. You basically, you're not at fault. You're trying to get some money for your damages, your medical bills, everything. So you hire an attorney to do that and represent your case. Now, how often are you getting hit by the Home Depot truck? Hopefully never, like maybe once in your life, right? And so you don't really know the whole process. What's happened? What is the lawyer doing? What am I supposed to be doing? When you meet with a law firm, they kind of give you like this blurb and they do their best, right? You get a good law firm that you're working with. They do a really good job at telling you what's happening, what's going to happen. But we just enhance that with software. So it's like they have this system where they're tracking your case. Now with Milestones integrated with that system, they'll have this interface that says, hey, your case is in this stage right now. Here's what you need to be doing. Here's the description, what it means. Like the first stage is file setup. Send us photos of the accident. Send us your driver's license, some documentation. Which insurance do you use? The next stage is like go to treatment. Here's what that means. And you can look ahead what's happening next. The firm can embed videos, a lot of personalization there. And so it's all integrated. So the law firm has this really big benefit, or the service business has this benefit. They're using their software every day. All we do is integrate. And when they change the phase in their software, then it just pushes to milestones. And milestones will tell the clients like, hey, you're in this phase now. And that attorney, the law firm, doesn't have to do anything different outside their normal job. Now you're updated, their CRM is updated, there's no extra work needing to happen. And the client is stoked because now they know, hey, here's where I am in my case. Here's what it means. Here's what's happening next. And here's how I send the documents. I can communicate. So we kind of starting with law firms, but maybe as I was telling you this, you could apply this to a million different things: insurance claims, home building, restoration. There's just so many things that it's like, I wish I had this. And that's what
Totally.
made the problem like super interesting to me. Is like, I want this so bad as an end consumer.
Yeah, because well, it's funny because the first thing that as someone that's worked a lot in Salesforce and HubSpot type projects, we have a case, for example, and it's got stages, but it's usually just internal facing. So you're kind of taking the stages and you're exposing that to the end customer for them.
Yeah. And this is
A
like
better
the
expectation.
initial.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the goal is to like revolutionize this experience for everyone, for the business and for the client. Because how annoying, like the business, they really want the clients to have a good experience. They're doing their best. But you know what? They have to send an email, or if they're really on top of it, they have an automated email like
Right.
triggered, sent out. And that's good, but it's like, where's my Domino's pizza tracker?
Right.
And
Totally.
the education in an email is like kind of hard. People don't read emails, they're too busy. But if you have a nice interface guiding you through it, it's great. And the vision is like, hey, anything in that CRM, somebody can customize it and set it up so that the data flows from the business to the client and from the client to the business. So say you have like some field in your Salesforce that you want to let the client know about. So like, hey, you updated. I'm going to use legal because that's like where we're at right now, and
Yeah.
it's a great industry, and it's actually really big and lucrative right now. So say the Home Depot story again. The business, the law firm, now has a settlement amount that they want to let you know about. Like, hey, by the way, we finished litigation. We're able to get you the settlement amount. They put it into Salesforce. And now you can be notified as the client, hey, here's your settlement amount. Here's what it means as an end customer. And you're like, oh, wow, it's right there in the portal. It's very customized to your law case, your legal case, or whatever service project you're doing. And now it's like, this is all the information I need. I have my settlement amount. I know who my team is. I can contact my team. Any information in that CRM, you can now see as a client based off how the business has set it up. And the business can request information from you as well. And that'll go right into the CRM instead of having to download it from the email, take notes, put it back in the CRM. It's like, hey, give me your driver's license. It'll go right in there. So there are integrations for that. It's just a little clunky right now. It's all over the place. And so I think Salesforce has like some email integration. Sometimes you can send
A little bit of
upload a
work.
document to this email. Yeah, it's a little bit of work. It's a
It's
little
a little bit of
clunky.
work.
You need
They even
three
just set it
different
up.
softwares. Yeah, so yeah, we just think that this is a great space. I want it so bad as an end consumer. As a business owner, I think it's amazing too. It's like serving both sides, and we're in the middle. That's where we want to be. So
That's
that's a
amazing.
lot.
I think it's actually a very interesting solution. To your point, like I can think of so many businesses that they're tracking this, like the onboarding, or they're tracking the delivery of a product that they've sold, and the communication is very manual. And you're right, you can create automations to send out triggers based upon changes in stages, but this makes it
Then
so
your
much
data gets
easier.
stale. Your data gets
Right.
stale too. It makes it hard.
And then is the interface to the customer like an app, or is it text, or is it both?
It's both. So
Or
it's a
email, I
web
guess.
app. It's a web app. And we prefer text because that gets read a lot more.
Right.
And then we basically just send them a link to our app. But if they don't have a cell phone number in your system, if you work over email mostly, then we support emails as well. We just have a lot better adoption rate over text. So it's a web app in the sense that you don't need to download it to your phone. You just click on a link and it opens up. And we have a passwordless login system. So you just get a code to your phone or to your email, and you can log in that way. And if you own the email, then you can see the project that the email is linked to, stuff like that. So we try to make it super seamless for the clients to get in there. It's just a link, no downloading an app, passwordless login. that's like adoption is through the roof because of that. And yeah, that's kind of the process.
Now you guys are currently wrapping up Y Combinator. How was that experience, and what was kind of your big takeaway from that?
Oh, it's been amazing. We're a little bit of an older company compared to like most of the Y Combinator companies. There are some that are kind of in our same boat, but we've been around for over a year, and we have a good amount of revenue. We have a pretty good client base, and so we thought like maybe we're a little too old for Y Combinator, but it has been amazing. It's like getting in there, the mentorship is insane. We just have like you talk about some problems, they kind of help you with some of it, but basically like it's just more of a guiding hand to teach you how to run your business more effectively. They've got this knowledge base that is just through the roof. It's like anything you need to know, like how do I hire an employee? What do I do in this situation? How do I raise money? How do I scale a business? How do I market? It's just everything you need is there. There's amazing community, amazing mentors. We just went through a round of fundraising, and we had our pitch deck, and they're like, hey, like maybe change this, maybe change that. We met with them multiple times with our group partners and our mentors to like adjust our pitch deck, and we sent it out, and we had our meetings, and then we met with group partners again and say, hey, this wasn't working, this is working. They adjusted. It was just amazing experience. Like we were blown away, and it's really like elevated our vision, our site, and just so many resources. It's been awesome. I recommend it.
Here. All right. If you could offer other founders only one piece of advice, what would that be?
Get into Y Combinator.
Well,
no, yeah.
Well, that would be, yeah, I don't know how realistic that is, but
yeah.
good advice.
Yeah, for other founders, I think the founding team that we have is actually like really powerful. We work so well together. I worked on a couple of other startups that it was good, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't like I want to be in the office. I want to be with my co-founders. I want to do like a retreat with them, hang out with them. Our wives are all really good friends. I think that's like really important. And if I was doing this by myself, this would be a lot harder. I don't know if I'd be having as much fun. Like, I don't know. If you can find a good founding team, people that you really like to work with, I don't know, it just makes the experience so much better. And then the idea can come later, I suppose. And so that's my advice is make sure you have a good founding team. I started a family business, totally different environment. It was like, okay, like I can't really grow this because they're going to step on people's toes. But this one, we're all like,
the politics of the family.
Yeah, the politics of the family. We critique each other all the time, and we're like still, I don't know. This team has been so fun to work with. And
oh no, he froze.
I'm over tech.
I don't know if that's my
Love
internet.
it. I'm just like, yeah, tell me about it. And so, anyways, that's my advice is if you can get a good team, that is really important.
That is good advice. All right. One of the themes that we talk about usually is the role of partnerships and or community as we encourage people to form their own pack of cooperative ventures. So what's the role of either partnerships or community been in your success?
Oh, this is huge. So Y Combinator community has been awesome. I kind of talked about it a little bit. I don't want to beat that dead horse. If you can get in Y Combinator, do it. It's so good.
Yeah.
Outside of that, since we integrate with a lot of softwares, like your different CRMs, like your Salesforce, and we have smaller ones in the legal industry. Those partnerships are actually really valuable to us because we enhance their software, and then two, we can get referrals from there and kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a two-way thing. But that's been valuable in the investor community. We have this partnership. If I can give a shout out to Ludlow Ventures.
Ludlow, okay.
Do you know Ludlow, Michael?
I know that name. I'm trying to think of why.
If you don't, you should learn them. They are so good to work with. They are our investor. They kind of led our seed round, and they have been so fun. So I recommend.
I know them.
They're awesome.
They have the same logo I do. It's a wolf.
Yeah, it is.
That's right. I was like,
yeah, Jonathan and Brett.
And they invested in Honey, I think, right? Is that one of the companies they invested in?
Yep. That's one of their big winners.
I'll have to meet them. I'll have to check. I'm trying to, I feel like I met one of them, but I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. Oh, they invested in WAG too, I noticed. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
and now Milestones. I don't know if they when
Milestones.
they're
There you go.
announcing or what we're doing about that, but yeah, they've been awesome. Community
Wow,
has
those
been
guys
really
are in
cool.
Detroit of all places.
Yes, I know. That's what we also said.
Wow, that's really interesting. All right. Well, so I want to be conscious of your time. First of all, thank you so much for sharing so much of your story and where you guys are at. We're looking forward to following you as you continue to make progress. What is the best way for people to get in touch with you? And who is a good connection for you? What type of person would you like to talk to?
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with me is just email josh@getmilestones.com. I'm on LinkedIn too. I need to get my Twitter going, but I don't have that. So
We're
LinkedIn
working
or
on it
email.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, the people I'd love to get in contact with are just services business in this space. That'd be awesome. Or if you have a CRM that you're running and or are invested in, I'd love to like get Milestones integrated and let's get going, provide value like right away. We have pretty good integrations that we can get going in like a couple of days as long as there's the APIs are available. So we can go really fast and that's how we do it.
I love it. That is good news. And I will definitely keep my ears peeled because that's my space as well. Not my space, but the space I work in. All right. So the final thing is, as you know, when we have interesting people on the podcast, we like you to nominate other interesting people. We interview a lot of Y Combinator, tech stars, hustle fund founders, as well as investors. So who would you like to nominate as a future guest that you can introduce us to?
Jonathan and Brett from Ludlow Ventures.
Oh,
They
well, that's
would
an easy
be,
one. Yeah.
yeah, they would be awesome.
All right. Jonathan Trist and is it Damaris? Is that Brett Damaris?
Honestly, I don't know. I
I
just
think
call
it
him
is.
Brett.
All right, Jonathan and Brett from Ludlow Ventures, you've been nominated. I'm actually excited to talk to you guys and learn all about what you've been working on, including why you invested in Milestones. I think we know, but let's hear what they have to say. Josh, thank you so much for spending time with me. Look forward to following the rest of your journey.
Absolutely. Thank you.